Good morning, everyone. Today we'll discuss about the psychological immunity among the working professionals. So, before going to the topic psychological immunity, we should understand what is the psychological problems facing by the working professional in the contemporary society. If you see, due to this workload, work pressure, there is a lot of psychological problem facing by the working professionals like you under use of their skills, excessive workload, inflexible hours, control over their jobs, unsafe and poor physical working condition, organizational culture, violence, harassment, discrimination, unclear about their job roles, and job insecurity. These are the psychological problems which are facing by the contemporary working professionals. Due to these problems, they are facing a lot of psychological problems which is affecting their daily life also. So, due to this psychological problem, every year, as per the report of Global Business of Ethics Survey 2020, it clearly shows that 12 billion working days, which is lost every year, which is accounted US dollar of 1 trillion per year, and globally 22%, or which is equivalent to 1 in 5 employees, feel pressure to bend about the rules. So, due to this psychological problem at the workplace, people are facing different difficulties, which is a loss of economical loss of their employees also. If we'll see the suicide rate in the year 2020, okay, as per the report of National Crime Report Bureau, we will find the people, the working professionals like government sectors, professional sectors, those who are working in the public sectors, and professionals, those who are working in the private sector, altogether nearly about it's a 15,000 people lost their life due to the suicide, because in the and the private sector, the employees working in the private sector, nearly about 10,000 people who lost their life every year, and it is also applicable to all the sectors. Maybe it's self-employed, maybe housewife, maybe daily wage labor, maybe retired professionals. All the people are facing some kind of problem. Due to that problem, they are losing their life. So that it is a serious issue which we should think about it. In between, if we go some of the reviews, some of the articles, we will find how the different professionals facing the psychological problems in their workplace, and the psychological problems facing by professionals which are coming, maybe medical professionals, maybe college teachers, maybe softwares, maybe construction industry, maybe Indian Army, maybe police personnel, maybe university teacher, all the people, like every sector, they are facing some kind of psychological problem. And due to the, as it is the reason, as we explained, maybe excessive workload, non-recreational activities, job stress, all these problems, every profession. So each and every profession are in the stress, so that we have to underthink, we have to think the psychological problems, why they are facing the psychological problems, and how to deal with the psychological problems. If these psychological problems, to deal with the psychological problem, we have to enhance our psychological immunity. Now, the another concept, how to deal with what is psychological immunity. It is the same as it is like physical immunity. If you see the physical immunity, which is protecting every individual from the viral infection, at the same time, the psychological immunity, which is protect the individual from a stressful life, from the negative emotion. And this psychological immunity concept coined in the year 2000 by Ola. And he is telling it is a adaptive resources and a positive personality characteristic that acts as a psychological antibody at the time of stress. When we are in the stress, it is working as a adaptive resources. And different components are there in psychological immunity, which is comes like positive thinking, coherence, sense of control, emotional regulation, orientation, and problem solving skill. So the people those who are facing the psychological problem, we have to enhance their psychological immunity. Then only they have a work life balance. Now we will discuss how they will deal with the psychological immunity through the yoga therapy. Very interesting. When the term is coming in our mind, yoga therapy, always we are thinking that yoga means it's a physical exercise or a bodily exercise. But yoga is not that one which we are thinking. It is an exercise of the brain. It is an exercise of your mind. So when you are, and this yoga, it's a Vedic system and it's a spiritual practice which is realizes of the unity of the individual. So it's a completely integral science of spiritual development. It's not only limited to our the physical exercise. That's why it is called yoga karmeshu kausalam. Yoga is the excellence in action. And this yoga is to pacify the mind. It's called yoga. Mamaha prasamanno payo yoga ityabhi diyati. So, when we are talking about that yoga, it is the evenness in the mind. Samatto yoga uchyate. And this yoga is restraining the mind, stop from taking various forms. This is called the yoga. Yoga has Sita Bruta Nirodha. This is called the yoga. If you will see the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord Krishna has described the yoga in the following verse. Yogesah Guru Karmani Sangam Tattva Dhananjaya Siddha Siddhyo Samabhutva Samatto Yoga Uchyate. And Lord Krishna is saying, established in the yoga, perform your action, abandoning the attachment, remaining minded the success and failure, which is saying you do your duty. Don't see the result of success or failure. Have to detach from your emotion, from the result. You have to do your duty, and which is called the yoga. This is all about the yoga, and this yoga is at the different types. And if you see the our text says Patanjali, they have described 8 stages of yoga: Bhakti yoga, Karma yoga, Kriya yoga, Janana yoga, Hatha yoga, Mantra yoga, Laya yoga, and Raja yoga. And the yoga which we are thinking in our mind, which is doing the performing different body gesture and posture, is coming under the Hatha yoga, which is a practice of asana or posture. So different types of yogas are there, and this type of yoga is really helpful to have a control over our mind, and this is also scientifically proven. Yoga is helpful each and every individual, and yoga it's a mind and body practice. Simultaneously, you have to have a control over your mind and having the several health benefits, and it is always helpful to reduce our anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and these are helpful for the working professionals. Those who are working and having the burnout syndrome or having the pressure in their life due to the practice of regular practice of yoga, they can have a control over their anxiety, their depression, and this yoga prevent and treatment the medical condition. And yoga have a very big benefits, and this yoga we should perform in our daily life and a regular life. If you see the yoga, it's not that overnight you will do the yoga for one day and the next day you will relieve from your stress. It is not like this. When we are performing yoga, we have to perform our daily life. And yoga, as I said in the earlier, yoga is not only the exercise of your hand, but it's exercise of your mind. So that when we are practicing such type of yoga, we have certain prerequisites. We should follow some principles before performing the yoga, like ahimsa, non-violence, telling the truth, satya, non-stealing, asatya, performing brahmacharya. It's a sexual continence in the thought and word and the deed. It's a non-possessiveness, Then we should follow the purity. We should have a peacefulness. We should have austerity, which is known as tapas. These are the prerequisites we should follow before performing the yoga. Now we will see how this yoga therapy is helpful to the working professionals. I have reviewed some of the articles in the previous time, which articles have taken the yoga therapy intervention. I have taken some of the professionals like software professionals, women employees, not staff. I have taken different articles which they have used the yoga therapy to have a control over their mind. And what they find in their findings that it is really helpful, which have a control. They are saying it is yoga practice included selected asana, pranayam, and yogendra, which is helping to them to have a control over their mind and reducing their psychological problems. And this intervention is not only limited to India. If you see some of the studies in the foreign also, foreign countries like United Nations, Taiwan, any other countries, this practice or the yoga intervention is giving a positive result to have a control over the working professional psychological problem. So it is really helpful, the yoga therapy. As a conclusion, if you see in my remarks that yoga should be practiced in our daily life, which is increasing our psychological immunity system and protect our body and mind against any kind of damage, stress, extremely negative. And the yoga therapy should be a part of every syllabus in the academic sphere and should be practiced in the daily life. This is all about the yoga therapy and its effectiveness. And very particularly, if you say every kind of research which we follow, they are very helpful. As I told, as a concluding remark, we should follow in our daily life the yoga and practice the yoga for a better life, for a better adjust in the environment. Thank you.